Okay, who would like to see more plays in their classroom?
The plays, they're so fun, and that it's actually real life 3D. I think we should have more plays in our classroom because everyone can see like how creative you are, and I think it should be one of the subjects.
Young children come to school loving dramatic play, and scripts are a wonderful way to get them from their imaginary to play into literacy and scripts. So at the Elementary Teachers Federation, we're really encouraging teachers to look at the use of scripts. Oftentimes it's a challenge for them to get scripts into the schools because of the cost and accessibility. But we know that scripts are really accessible because kids love to create plays and love to take on voices and characters of other people in their imaginary world.
There's inspiring moments all the time, but two recent things that I guess I would share with you. One was with my son Daniel, who's 8 years old, and we came to see a play here at Young People's Theatre at the beginning of the season, a play called The Studio that we brought in from Quebec. And it explored visual art through dance and language. And it was a beautiful piece, and at the end of the show, Daniel looked at me and said, "Can I buy a canvas?" And I went, "Wow, geez, really?" So, yes, I said. And we went and bought a canvas, and then we went home. And then he started to recreate something that he'd seen in the show. They touched on the work of Pollock, and so he created his own version of a Pollock. And then when he was done, he said, "Am I allowed to show this to my friends at school?" And we said, "Of course." And if you break that down, that's incredibly powerful. So from the moment he says, "Can I buy a canvas?" You're promoting creative impulse, and then going to buy a canvas for the government officials out there, economic impact, and then creative expression in creating his own version of a Pollock, and then the sharing of ideas by taking that to the school and sharing that with his kids. I don't know anything else but theatre that really does that and has that kind of impact and call to action that he expressed on that day.
I want more plays in my classroom because I think you can use your imagination a lot to like forget about the other like you, and you get to like be someone else for like a short amount of time, but it's really worth it and fun.
I was teaching collective creation, playwriting to a degree, but also performance. And one of the young people, a young lady, was very, very quiet. She had like a really, really, really soft voice. She really wouldn't speak above a whisper, maybe. And after only spending 4 days together, like full days of workshop, she admitted to the entire group of young people that she was working with, which was a very brave thing to do, that she never thought she had a voice, and she never thought she would ever be able to have a voice, and that she felt that she had found her voice. So by the end of the 4 days, she was speaking on voice, she could project her voice, and she would also share her opinion, whereas that's something that she didn't do at the beginning of the week. And I think that's a really, really small example of what Theatre for Young People is capable of in the development of young people as people, not only as people in the theatre.
I've chosen to work with young people in theatre because I think young people have a lot to offer to theatre. Their imaginations are large and they need a place to put all of that excitement, all of that energy, somewhere they can outlet all of their feelings, emotions. Children between the ages of 12 and 14 are going through as many changes as babies to toddlers do. So somewhere to put all of those feelings and to discuss the change that they may not be able to openly. Theatre gives children and youth a chance to express themselves in a way that they don't always get invited to. Playwriting is a great creative outlet to tell the stories that are in your brain, your heart, and your spirit. But you can apply it to curriculum as well. There's creative writing for every year. There's storytelling for most years. And you can always take drama and use it to explore almost any other subject. So why not use a creative tool for academics?
Do you use plays in your classroom? Does your
Yes.
teacher use them?
Yes, sometimes. In my French classroom and my classroom
In my French classroom, we've done one play before, but that's it. Other than that, there's never been a play in my classroom.
We did lots of plays. We just did Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Reindeer, and we did one more Christmas one, but I don't know what it's called.
Would you like more plays to be used in your classroom?
Yeah, way more, because we only had like one. Yeah.
I would like lots of plays to be used in my class.
Also,
I believe it is important to have Canadian plays in Canadian schools because, like Shakespeare and many artists who came before me, I believe that it is our role as artists to put a mirror up to nature and show our Canadian stories to Canadian young people.
So in the elementary panel, we're really encouraging teachers during their literacy block to make use of scripts. Oftentimes scripts are really difficult for elementary teachers to get based on cost or based on availability. But when they do get them, kids come alive. And the wonderful thing about having scripts in schools, it also enables kids to see how to write them so that they can, in their writing time at school, write their own scripts. So it's an exciting time for kids to bring their creative work into the elementary classroom.
If you're a school looking for a Canadian production, Playwrights Guild of Canada has over 2,400 scripts. All you have to do is go to www.playwrightsguild.ca to obtain the rights to a Canadian production. Or you could call us at 416-703-0201.